Yes, a very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. Warmly welcome to News Tonight. It's me, Micheal Lukomwa, with Elizabeth Nakakoni on the Sign Language Corner. Let's start with a look at the top stories and then to what we have to you in detail. President Museveni challenges on regular body checkups and healthy lifestyles. Parliament pays tribute to fallen Kisoro woman legislator Sarah Mateke Nyirabashishi. UPDF recognizes the legacy of former CDF late General Ronda Nyakirima. As Manchester United fans at Mandela Stadium in Ambole watch their man, Andre Onana. UBC News Tonight, we thank you so much for tuning in, and let's just go straight away to what we have for you in a whole package. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has challenged leaders to adopt regular body checkups and ensure healthy lifestyles. Museveni was at Parliament to pay last respects to fallen Minister Sarah Mateke Nyirabashishi, who succumbed to heart complications at Mengo Hospital on Saturday.
I'm the Minister of State for Defense.
Signs that the president was about to arrive started showing at around 4:30 p.m. And here he was at Parliament, arriving to pay respect to a cabinet member, Sarah Mateke Nyirabashishi. He described her as a woman who was disciplined, calm and generous.
So it's a big loss. But the few years she has been here, I'm sure she has become like some example to those who know her well in the Kisoro area, who may know her better. Because you know how quarrelsome those of Afumbira can be. So when you hear people giving testimony to somebody, say, oh, he's good, she's good, she's good, you know that she was really good. We are coming from remembering General Ronda at Munyonyo, who apparently, you remember Ronda died on the plane when he was coming from South Korea for a conference of security. Now, this Sarah apparently was supposed to travel to South Korea on the same conference, from which Ronda died when he was coming back.
He also appealed to leaders to embrace health lifestyles through regular checkups.
For instance, Ronda, when he died on the plane, I didn't know that he had a medical condition that was a problem. I didn't know. If I had known, I would have stopped him from traveling those long distances. So this is the only side that I would want to advise our cadres, Ugandans, to be careful with health. Make sure you check properly, and if it is need for rest, you rest. You don't have to strain yourself. This is the only thing I would say.
Members of Parliament, both current and former, agreed with the president.
We should all think of doing regular checkups. Check for anything, whatever it is. We should not wait to be told that we are suffering from ABCD and then start going for medical attention. No.
The moment you are the age of 30 or 40 above, regular checkups are not a privilege, they are a must. because you sit long hours in meetings, but you also are exposed so many hours of work. So it is very easy to neglect the demands.
The Kisoro people have lost a lot. The Kisoro people, I'm not sure whether they will get the same kind of MP to represent them. How I wish they could think of electing someone from the Matekes.
Ministers, MPs and other leaders recounted moments with the deceased that remain fresh.
She cared much about her people. She was an educationist, and that's the reason why Sarah came up with the university, and it is the very reason why Sarah was giving out bursaries to all Ugandans. We shall miss Sarah.
And actually when the Serere youth heard that Sarah has passed on, most of them called me because I invited Sarah to Serere to meet the youth and also to officiate in some function in one of the institutions. So as Serere and the people of Serere, especially the youth, we really miss Sarah.
Every time we had controversies on the floor of Parliament, Mateke was always there to call friends, members, why don't we put our heads together and we come with a common voice, and that was Sarah Mateke. She was a person who was always good at avoiding and trying to mentor, guide, and befriend people to ensure that we don't go into controversies.
It was down to us. The people of Kisoro have lost her. The Parliament of Uganda has lost her, and the cabinet has lost her, because she even as attested by many members of Parliament, she was this person you could know.
Sarah Mateke died on Saturday at Mengo Hospital and will be buried on Thursday in Kisoro district.
May her soul rest in eternal peace.
Henry Okrut, UBC.
President Yoweri Museveni has emphasized the importance of remembering and celebrating individuals who have significantly contributed to nation building. He made the remarks during his keynote address at the Kampala Defense and Security Expo to honor former Chief of Defense Forces, General Alonda Nyakairima. President Museveni also toured the exhibition and commended the efforts of the army, particularly through its commercial arm, the National Enterprise Corporation.
The UPDF has held the first Kampala Defense and Security Expo 2024 at the Commonwealth Resort Munyonyo in memory of the late General Alonda Nyakairima. Nyakairima was the former Chief of Defense Forces who served in that position for 10 years. He died in the line of duty as Minister for Internal Affairs on September 12, 2015. He had traveled to South Korea to benchmark the national ID project with the latest technology in biodata registration. Nyakairima was instrumental in the actualization of the national ID registration project and championed the formation of Wazalendo Sacco to improve the soldiers' welfare. He passed away from a heart attack at the age of 56.
This memorial event is a 3-day dimensional event, starting today 10th to 12th of September 2024, under the theme celebrating the life of the late Honorable General Randa, a paragon of revolutionary sacrifice, Pan-Africanism, patriotism, courage, and an accomplished freedom fighter.
General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda, toured the UPDF stalls, showcasing the Army's capabilities. The stalls included the National Enterprise Corporation, the commercial arm of the Uganda People's Defense Forces under the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs, which manufactures armored vehicles, commercial explosives, and provides security services, among other functions, to Ugandans. The police, prisons, and other government agencies also exhibited their services. The Chief of Defence Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, eulogized the late Aronda Nyakairima as a hero who sacrificed himself for Uganda while honoring commitment and dedication.
His leadership during critical moments had an effect on the outcomes of conflicts and on national security. By remembering him, we preserve these lessons for future generations. General Aronda's story and many other heroes, because he's a representation of the many heroes we have had in UPDF.
After touring the stalls at the expo, the president then proceeded to deliver a keynote address to the participants.
In his speech, President Museveni referred to General Aronda Nyakairima as a disciplined military officer who understood the ideological principles of the NRA and inspired other officers to lead exemplary lives.
He easily contributed to the discipline of the army because the political commissars were a disciplined group. The PCs also understood the strategic relationship with the people. You saw Aronda here, how he used to link with because some of the other combat commanders, the other school leavers, the peasants, sometimes they yes, the army. Important of all, Aronda was among those that understood very well our 4 ideological principles and the 3 historical missions. It is those officers that fully understand our involvement in South Sudan, Congo, Somalia, etc. Therefore, General Aronda was outstanding on ideology, discipline, but also management skills.
He acknowledged instances of corruption in the army, including the misuse of soldiers' pensions and allowances, and he tasked army leaders with eliminating this vice.
That, like me, when I'm saying, I say I'm a professional because I'm a storyteller. And the man is going for that. The fuel, the army was getting fuel from petrol stations. Why would the army get fuel from petrol stations? There should be army petrol stations in the barracks. You need to touch among yourselves and find out these elements that cause this pollution.
President Museveni reiterated that every adult should engage in producing a good or a service to achieve sustainable economic prosperity. Diano Oloin Peters, UBC News at Munyonyo.
Government has reiterated its commitment to address the non-communicable diseases which have continued to rob the country of game changers like the late woman member of parliament for Kisoro, Sarah Mateke Nyirabashisi. In her justification on the motion to pay tribute to the late Prime Minister and leader of government business in Parliament, Robin Anabanja, said in Parliament that government has introduced national guidelines for management of non-communicable diseases 2018. However, concerted efforts are needed to combat non-communicable diseases.
The casket carrying the body of the late woman member of parliament for Kisoro district and also state minister for defense Sarah Mateke was taken to parliament at 11 Tuesday morning. It was received by the Speaker of Parliament Anita Among and other members of parliament. The body was put to the central lobby of parliament for members of parliament to pay their respects to fallen colleague. They also signed the condolence book. At few minutes past 2 in the afternoon, there was a special sitting of Parliament to pay tribute to the fallen woman legislator for Kisoro district. The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, told the House that it is the 5th time the 11th Parliament convenes to pay tribute to fallen colleagues.
The effectiveness of a legislator can significantly be determined by the capacity of the debate lobby, persuasion of members. On those parameters, Honorable Sarah Mateke excelled in that.
After her communication, the casket of the body carrying the late was brought in 2 chambers for members to pay their tribute to dedicated service she offered to the country. The sitting started with laying of wreath on the casket of the late by the Speaker of Parliament, the Vice President, Prime Minister, the Leader of Opposition in Parliament and Chief Whip. The Prime Minister, Robin Anabanja, moved the motion for resolution of Parliament to pay tribute to the late, and in her justification, she said non-communicable diseases is another threat robbing the country of game changers like Sarah Mateke.
Even at Parliament here, we have introduced the national guidelines for management of non-communicable diseases, that is of 2018. We have established a national non-communicable disease coordinating mechanisms, demonstrate the government's commitment to addressing non-communicable diseases. However, a concerted efforts is still needed to effectively combat the non-communicable diseases in the country.
The Vice President, retired Major Jessica Alupo, seconded the motion and said the late conducted herself in special way in Cabinet and was very passionate about education, especially skilling the youth, hence started a technical institute that turned into a university.
Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Sarah Mateke, with her team, started in a small way their technical institution, which has now grown into the Metropolitan International University. Sarah Mateke did not forget about me. Like she did to many of you, she offered scholarships, half scholarships, to children who are exceptionally gifted academically, but socially disadvantaged. She gave me 20 scholarships, but half scholarships.
The Leader of Opposition in Parliament, Joe Senyonyi, urged leaders to reflect on the importance of not involving in corruption because the fallen woman MP was not in any corruption scandal. Member of Parliament, Ndora County East, Niwagaba Winfred, who represented the independents, also said the late was a lady of high integrity.
Of late, the vice of corruption has continued to eat up our country, being perpetrated by leaders at different levels and civil servants. I did not hear of the Honorable Sarah Mateke's name embroiled in any corruption scandal during her service in government.
She was extremely humble. You will never hear of Sarah Mateke with any pomposity. No, most of us in leadership especially, and especially those who go to the front bench, want to lead a pompous life. Sarah was not.
The Minister for Defence, Jacob Both, said the late, after joining the ministry as State Minister, expressed passion with the women, welfare of spouses of soldiers.
I'll miss her intervention on the spouses and the children of the armed officers, the uniformed men and women. We do not know, because she was yet to start after the events that we are having this month.
Member of Parliament, Bufumbira County North, Kamara John Nzeimana, said the death of their colleague has caused confusion in the district.
All of them, we said we must go, sit down, find at least a person that must replace Sarah, not causing any confusion again in Kisoro district.
Politics. A member of Parliament is elected for 5 years. But it's unfortunate that when someone has died, you don't hand over. But it is the feeling of the Wafumbira and the Chisoro community that this flag does not leave the Mateke family.
I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Ngwitabinji at Parliament.
Hundreds of mourners relatedly thronged All Saints Cathedral, Nakasero, to attend a funeral service for the late politician and educationist Honorable Sarah Mateke. Sarah Mateke died on the 7th of September, that was on Saturday, after a short illness. Speaker of Parliament Anita Mong asked mourners to use this time to reflect on their impact to society after the late MP Mateke played a pivotal role in promoting unity at all spheres of life. This was emphasized by the former Prime Minister Rakan Rugunda, who also hails from the Kigezi region. Rugunda is confident that the foundation of the late MP Mateke will continue to be built on. The Minister for Defence and Veteran Affairs, Jacob Oboth, shared with the mourners the happy moments during the time the late served as State Minister for Defence. Oboth described how the ministry has lost an honest person. The funeral service was led by the Archbishop Stephen Kazimba Mugalu. The late will be buried in Kisoro district on Thursday, the 12th of September, 2024.
To all the people. It is so funny how we used to see her dress smartly every morning and watch her go to work, and now it is us to find the perfect cloth to say goodbyes to her. My mother was literally my heart. Her love was the foundation upon which all our strength and trust was built.
She would always come to the house and talk about issues of children. What is that will be talked about you? What legacy are you leaving behind? This should be a time of reflection. What have you impacted in people's lives? Sarah has impacted in people's lives. And it is something that we must learn, that while we are on this earth, we must work for humanity. We must be able to support each other. There is no time for us to start in fights. We are living borrowed life, as the Archbishop said. When the owner comes for it.
Because Sarah followed the footsteps of the dad, Philemon Mateke, in promoting unity in Kisoro, promoting unity in Kigezi, and promoting unity in Uganda. She has rested early at the age of 50, but she had already made significant impact in our politics, in the field of education, and as we heard from Justice Gachiravaki, he promoted unity, he promoted progress, she was pro-people.
And when she came, I told her, she said, oh, both. She had her own ways of talking. Oh, but so what am I supposed to do here? So I told her, those are the same questions that I put to myself and I asked people here. So get a few weeks, read some flimsy files in the office, you will get to know how business is done here. After 1 week, oh, but is there work here? I said, you will get work.
May her soul rest in eternal peace, and we'll keep you posted about the developments of the activities, part of her send-off. Vice President Major Retired Jessica Alupo has commissioned the commencement of the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Urban Development Program in Kira Division. The initiative enhances connectivity in and out of the city's main outlets. World Bank and the French Development Agency are funding the 3 trillion Uganda shillings program. They're funding the program. Alupo represented President Yoweri Museveni at the event of the commissioning.
The Vice President of Uganda, Major Jessica Alupo, has launched the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Urban Development Program. The program is designed to improve traffic flow, upgrade road networks, enhance public transport, and ensure better connectivity within the metropolitan area.
The Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Project will contribute to addressing the challenges faced in the metropolitan area that include flooding, traffic congestion, unsignaled junctions, and poor road infrastructure, among others.
The Vice President explained the vision behind the program, stressing the need for a holistic approach to urban development. She underscored the importance of cooperation between government entities and international partners to ensure the program's success.
The program started in fiscal year 2023-2024 with financial support from the World Bank of a credit of $518 million and a grant of $48 million. And against France, the development contributed 40 million euros as co-financing. I believe this support shall enhance our NRM objectives to address the challenges in the Greater Kampala metropolitan area.
The program is supported by significant investments from both the government and international stakeholders. Alupo highlighted key objectives, including reducing workplace congestion and creating employment opportunities for residents.
The project must address the above through construction of environmentally resilient road infrastructure and signal junctions, drainages, markets, incubation and skilling centers.
Tugenda kukola obutale, tugenda kukola ebifo ebigibwamu skilling programs, tugenda kukola emyala, tugenda kukola ebintu byonna ebisinga obuli tugenda kubikola. So kitegeeza Kampala agenda kubanga ali ku map.
State Ministers for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs Kabuye Chofa Togabi and the Minister for Works and Transport, Musa Echeru, urged the public to cooperate with the ministry as the government prioritizes the delivery of quality infrastructure projects.
We will be working with the KCCA team to make sure that there is value for money, to make sure that there is maintenance. My appeal to the citizens, the roads are coming with all the road infrastructure. The biggest problem Uganda has had is management and sometimes abuse of this infrastructure. You find people will start peeling off the road immediately it's commissioned. This must not happen this time.
What we need is your contribution. Your contribution is through provision of a right of way. If you want good roads, if you want to see that the 330 kilometers are done, they are hindered and hampered by one thing, the right of way. So all I appeal to you, contribute the right of way.
Leaders from the Greater Kampala metropolitan area are optimistic that the program will resolve the infrastructure challenges they have faced for years.
Kiratebadde ku map nnyo naye olw'enguudo ennungi ezigenda okukolebwa nga ziri ddyo ziriko ettaala ziriko bulungi kira egenda okukulaakulana economically n'ekyo kyowe okuba nti tugenda waggulu.
Justine Nakami, UBC News.
Prime Minister Robin Anabanja has directed the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to ensure that before any government loans or grants agreements are signed, government projects must be fully prepared first, including acquisition of the right-of-way. Anabanja made the directive this morning at the opening of the National Annual Performance Review Report organized by the Office of the Prime Minister at Speak Resort Hotel, Munyonyo.
This year's National Annual Performance Review is the fourth report assessing the implementation of the third National Development Plan, NDP3.
It is supposed to inform policy, resource allocation, and its resource utilization.
The Minister for Local Government, Raphael Magezi, says the economy is progressing steadily with better indicators projected in the near future.
Generally, the status of the economy is good. The economy has been able to weather shocks, including COVID, including international prices, and so on. We achieved 6.6% GDP growth.
Good performance, Right Honourable Prime Minister, was observed
in key result areas of increase in production, volumes of agro enterprises, food security, employment and labor, agriculture export.
70% of the targets were achieved, 20% moderately satisfactory, and 10% not achieved across all the outcomes.
However, Majesty observed that Uganda is not doing well in financing external loans, which he attributes to delay in providing counterpart funding to a number of projects.
Generally, we are not doing well in terms of managing the external loans. And the key challenge has been inadequate financing, especially counterpart funding. And this has led to low absorption of funds.
The Prime Minister, Robin Nabanja, has now directed the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to stop signing any loan or grants on behalf of government until projects like roads are fully prepared.
These inefficiencies pose a big cost to government through increased commitment fees. To address this challenge, I'm directing the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to ensure that before signing any loans or grants agreement, projects are fully prepared, including acquisition of right-of-way. And this, I promise that we shall handle it together, especially during the time when the loans are coming to my desk for processing.
Nabanja made this directive with the Minister of Finance, Matia Kasaija, in attendance.
I direct all program secretariat heads to immediately coordinate their contributing votes, I mean ministries, departments, and agencies, to ensure timely compilation and submission of data for both internal program reviews and the national assessment by the Office of the Prime Minister.
The report highlights a downward trend of poverty levels across the country, with better performance of the targeted programs as indicated in the NRM manifesto of 2021-2026.
Poverty is going down at 20.3% compared to last financial year.
Despite improvements in the government programs, Uganda continues to lose its wetlands cover at a high rate.
The wetland coverage has declined. Right on our Prime Minister, this is not a good report, from 13.9% to 9.3%.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondolo. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with Baby Junior jelly.
Though dried their targets and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, Baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love Baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior's the skin. No more worries anymore. Boo, 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 boo. Baby Junior.
Baby Junior.
Do you need
data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Sometimes the pressure of paying taxes can feel overwhelming. The temptation to cut corners and underdeclare your income may creep in. But before you make that choice, consider the cost. Underdeclaring taxes might seem like an easy way out, but the consequences can be severe. URA offers resources and payment plans to help you manage your taxes. You can pay in installments if it's difficult to pay in full. Transparency is key. Avoid penalties and unexpected liabilities by reporting everything accurately. To report corruption, call URA on our toll-free lines. Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
At 80, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has been a transformative leader, championing democracy and the rule of law, spearheading infrastructure development, ensuring education for all, and securing our nation. His visionary initiatives like Bonabaga Gawale, Emioga, the Youth Livelihood Program, Operation Wealth Creation, and the Parish Development Model have touched every corner of our society, driving social transformation and prosperity. Join us as we host a special guest, Honorable Balam Barugahara Atenyi, State Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, in charge of children and youth affairs. He will shed light on how these initiatives are propelling Uganda forward at a fast speed. Be part of an exclusive interview as we celebrate 80 years of a revolutionary life under God's hand. Tonight, from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., only on UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth.
UBC News Tonight, we thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development Betty Amongi has appointed a new board of directors for the National Social Security Fund for a 3-year term effective 1st September this very year. Dr. David Ogong, the new board chairman, replaces Dr. Peter Chimboa, whose 3-year term of office ended recently.
Names have been read, have been duly appointed by me and can take over office effective immediately.
The 13th Board of Directors of the National Social Security Fund is chaired by Dr. David Ogong, and it succeeds the 12th board that was chaired by Dr. Peter Kimboa.
Like I mentioned to you, Chairman David, the fund is ambitious. In 2035, assets under management should be 50 trillion.
And whatever opportunity we have, we are going to exploit. We will continue to grow the fund. You've handed the baton over to us, but I assure you, with the competent team the minister has given us, I am sure that we will deliver.
Other members of the new board are Ramadan Gobi, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Agri David Chibenge, Engineer Dr. Silva Mugisha, Dr. Sam Lyomoki, Penina Tukamwesiga, and Patrick Ayota, the Managing Director, NSSF, who will continue to serve as an executive member of the board.
And basically gives us an opportunity to renew ourselves, renew our commitments, get new energies, to basically grow the fund even much better.
Minister Amongi urged the new board to ensure that the long-term strategies of the fund are achieved.
There are times you put the interests of the country and interests of the fund above self-interest. So the new chair and the new team, please protect the land. Also invest only on strategic areas. Don't be pushed. For us, we know how to explain. If matters arises from where I sit and it is not strategic for you, just give the reason which is convincing.
On his part, Dr. Ogong, who leads the team of 7, pledged to ensure that the track record of exemplary performance of the fund over the years is maintained.
So it is our responsibility as I take over, as I pick the baton to move on and make sure that the vision that is put in the 2035 vision of the fund is realized. In the next 3 years, we are going to aggressively work with management, push management to increase the membership, the growth of the membership. We are going to come up with new initiatives that will enable people to get money into their hands. As they get money into their hands, they begin to employ people. As they employ people, people will begin to save with the fund.
One of the key targets of the new board is to ensure that the fund grows its assets to Uganda shillings 50 trillion by 2035. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
The leader of the National Unity Platform, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, seems frustrated by the prolonged imprisonment of his party members. Kyagulanyi stated that some of these members have been in jail for over 4 years without trial. Kyagulanyi, who was addressing a press conference at the NUP headquarters in Makerere Kavule, condemned taking civilians to military courts.
The National Unity Platform leader Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu's remarks followed the release of 3 new prisoners, Mwanguzi Paul, Obalai Siraj and Muganza Joseph. However, he noted that many others remain in detention without justice.
Of our comrades that have been in prison for close to 4 years without committing any crime whatsoever, without trial. Finally, I must mention that we still have more than 100 political prisoners. Some are in Chitalia, others are in Upper Prison, others are in Mansion Bay.
He says that his members had been brought before the courts 56 times without any meaningful outcomes, and 4 bail applications had been filed without success.
These comrades have been coming to court after more than 56 court appearances. There was nothing going on. They were denied bail after 4 bail applications, bringing flimsy reasons. At first, they said that their parents were not substantial sureties. And then one of the other reasons they gave is that these comrades did not have any residences.
Kyagulanyi also criticized Honorable Balam, the State Minister for Youth and Children, for promising that the prisoners would be released upon assuming office, although no action had been effected.
Mention that you comrades remember, you friends remember, that Balam came out and said that those people were going to be set free after he went and begged Museveni. But as you can see, they are not freed, and we don't think they're going to be freed anytime soon.
The situation has caused deep concern within the NUP offices, as Kyagulanyi himself is recovering from an earlier attack allegedly involving tear gas. Jamil Sekaja compiled this report.
The 9 accused persons in the murder case of Susan Magara the late have asked the trial judge Alex Ajiji to excuse himself from this matter on allegations of bias. The accused, through an application led by their fellow accused Sali Muzamiru, allege that bias by the trial judge. With this, they do not see justice in the whole process.
Waswa Hussein, Sali Muzamiru, Chewali Abobeka, Chisalita Ahmed, Kato Hussein Miro, Bukenya Ismail, Bovumbo Musa Abbas, and Hajaran Nakandi are the accused persons in the murder case of Susan Magara, the case before Judge Alex Ajij Makai. When the trial resumed for hearing at High Court Criminal Division in Kampala, all the accused persons, through an oral application to court by the accused Sali Muzamiru, asked Judge Alex Ajij to recuse himself in this case.
Zenga ngoberera ebitambula mu kooti eno naye nga ngenza okutunulira ebitambulira mu kooti eno nga birimu ebirumira bingi n'obuwembuufu obw'ekitalo ekisibwa obulamuzi okubeera nga ova mu musango guno kuba nsuubira okubeera nga sigenda kufunamu bwenkanya.
Sally also accused the trial judge for being biased by not allowing the defense legal team to fully cross-examine the witnesses in this matter.
Ba witnesses abazze bajja mu kooti muno bazze nga ababuuzi b'ebibuuzo bakkanso baffe. Naye bwe batuuka mu kiseera ekyobabuuza ebibuuzo waliwo ebikugirwa bakkanso n'okubeera nga balemererwa okuweebwa chance okubuuza bye bateekeddwa okubuuza ate nga biba bigasanga nze omuwawaabirwa. Nti waliwo sayidi ewulirizibwa n'etawulirizibwa.
Sally also alleged torture which was inflicted on them during and after arrest, which issue they brought to the court's attention. However, nothing much was done. With the above reasons, they asked the trial judge Alex Ajij to recuse himself from this case, alleging bias.
Have not raised any reasonable ground. It suffices to note that whenever a class of certain witnesses turns up in court, it sends panic into the accused persons, my lord.
However, all the prayers were objected by the prosecution, led by Senior State Attorney Joseph Chomuhendo. Chomuhendo also told court that this is a delaying tactic on grounds that all the allegations raised are baseless. With the above, he asked court to dismiss the application before it.
We contend that indeed this application is based on flimsy and unsubstantiated grounds. The sole objective is to either delay or frustrate the hearing of this case.
After listening to both sides' submissions, Judge Alex Ajij Makai dismissed the accused's application.
I shall agree with the Chief State Attorney that the allegations are frivolous, vexatious, and baseless. And indeed, I cannot avoid thinking that it is an attempt at derailing the hearing of this.
Judge Ajij was also of the view that the application lacked grounds to allow him to recuse himself in this matter, other than just wasting court's time.
Even the relatives of the person upon which the charges are leveled against the accused persons are equally hurting. And so, let us avoid raising flimsy excuses to delay the trial.
Court also had this to say about the torture allegations raised by the accused in this case.
Indeed, I did hold the trial for well over 1 month and directed the parties to file their submissions, upon which I made a ruling in which I dismissed the application on merit in the right direction. They ought to have appealed, all in all the application was heard and dismissed, and so this ground too is baseless.
Due to time, Judge Alex Ajij Makai adjourned the case to tomorrow, 11th September 2024. One prosecution will present more witnesses. The 9 accused persons have been further remanded to Ruzula Government Prison. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
Health Rights International has launched a surgical and clinical camp at Lira Regional Referral Hospital aimed at providing critical medical intervention to war survivors. The camp, which began on Sunday, targets those who have faced significant medical challenges due to economic constraints.
The decade-long LRA civil war in northern Uganda left many civilian survivors suffering from psychological trauma and health complications. Health Rights International has launched a surgical and clinical camp at Lira Regional Referral Hospital to provide medical care to war survivors, including 310 surgeries.
And currently, we are implementing a project which is called the Integrated Physical and Psychological Rehabilitation for the survivors of war, LRA war in northern Uganda.
The camp, funded by Trust Fund for Victims, follows a thorough pre-camp assessment where a team of specialists examined over 1,000 individuals in the surrounding areas of Agweng, Aromo, Ogur, and Alito.
So when we went to the community to where these people are, we're able to see 1,146 who were able to see a surgeon, examine, and the medication provided. Then out of those 1,146, 310 had glaring straight surgical needs that the surgeon could know that this one needs to be operated. Those are the ones we have brought here for the operation, the ones who need surgery. But also there are others, 192, who need specialized investigations to determine the required medical intervention to be offered to them.
Medical officer special grade at Lira Regional Referral Hospital highlights the variety of conditions treated, including hydrocephalus, lymphomas, and the removal of foreign objects like bullets.
There are others that already have permanent damage, especially on their spine because of the heavy loads. Others, you find the spine, instead of being straight, it is bent. Others, instead of being straight, you find there's a depression. So it is very painful to describe what they have actually gone through.
The camp's broader role is skills transfer, with the younger doctors and local healthcare workers gaining experience in managing complex surgical cases.
We are strengthening their capacity to handle certain things, because most of the time we've seen when we do operation in Lira Regional Referral Hospital, they ask patient again to come back for a follow-up here, even just for stitch removal, when they can do it from the what? From the lower health facility.
The camps have expanded to Kitgum District Hospital and Anaka General Hospital to address the unmet medical needs of post-war victims. Edi Olwa, UBC News.
Uganda fire! Endiva fire! Our border fire!
Uganda! Thank you for showing your fire! Has Nambole Stadium opened its doors once again?
Fire!
While you were moving in, you were the 12th player when Uganda Cranes needed you the most.
Fire! Fire!
Through our famous wins against Tumankunda and our unlucky losses, you stood firm, supporting even louder!
Fire!
Now, as Uganda Cranes take on South Africa and Congo this September, South Sudan in October, and play our second legs against South Africa and Congo in November, bring even more fire! Because with your support, Uganda Cranes is unstoppable! Uganda fire! Proudly brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Uganda Cranes. Together, we are unstoppable.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Multi Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Fast and easy to prepare. Just 3 minutes and they're ready. You can have them anywhere.
Indomie Instant Noodles is available in 3 flavors of chicken, beef, and vegetable. Buy your Indomie Instant Noodles in supermarkets and dukas near you anywhere across Uganda. Indomie Instant Noodles, Uganda's best loved noodles.
The Ministry of Health informs the general public that there are some cases of Mpox detected in Uganda. The ministry, working with partners and affected district local governments, are doing their best to contain the situation. The signs and symptoms of Mpox are body rash, fever, general body weakness, headache, sore throat, nasal congestion or cough, and swollen lymph nodes. You can prevent yourself from getting infected with Mpox by avoiding close contact with people who have been confirmed to have Mpox or who have signs and symptoms of mpox. Avoiding touching or sharing personal items like beddings, eating utensils, phones, or other belongings of a person who has the signs and symptoms of mpox. Avoiding contact, including eating, with all wild animals, alive or dead, especially those known to carry the virus, such as rodents and monkeys, and those that appear sick or have been found dead. Getting vaccinated if you're among those who have been identified to be at high risk of mpox infection. Mpox is treatable and usually goes away after 2 to 4 weeks. However, it can be severe, causing even death, especially among children, pregnant women, and those with other health conditions. For more information and support, contact your nearest health worker. Call the Ministry of Health's toll-free line on 0800 100 066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500.
Namunkekera Agro-Processing Industries Limited, NAPIL, presents the Namunkekera Laotian Industrial Park Trade Show and Bazaar under the theme Celebrating Local and Foreign Investment on Friday 27th to Saturday 28th September 2024 at Kapeka Industrial Park starting at 9 a.m. Entrance is free. Are you a business person, school, or consumer of authentic Ugandan products? Don't miss this chance for incredible discounts on premium items like ceramic tiles, electricals, garments, shoes, bags, TVs, agricultural tools, dried mangoes, and pineapples. Guests of honor are Minister for Investment, Honorable Evelyn Anite, and the Chief Coordinator Operation Wealth Creation, General Salim Saleh. Come and enjoy Uganda's top artists. Would you like to exhibit? Call 0783 293 348 or 0757 896 914. Kapeka, the center for all your quality products.
Business news tonight. DFCU Bank has launched the Grow Loan Project, an initiative that empowers women in business. With a total of 5.7 billion available for borrowing, the project offers a competitive interest rate of 10%. The project is a government initiative under Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and was launched by the President last year in March as part of a broader government strategy to support women entrepreneurs.
Women. The rest of them were not for women.
Launched by the President last month, the GROW project is a collaborative effort to support women in business. At least Uganda shillings 5.7 billion is available for borrowing at 10% interest rate. At the launch of the project at DFCU Uganda, women in business were taken through the terms and conditions of the grant.
10% flat repayment period over 2 years. We are encouraging the borrowers to repay fast so that we can also on-lend this money to others. So it's going to be successful. The success of this program is going to be evidenced because we know the borrowers will come for this money. We'll also employ to economic activities. So,
according to Paul Nwagaba, the project manager GROW PSFU, says the project is expected to provide vital financial support to women-led businesses, fostering economic growth and encouraging greater female participation in the business sector.
At liberty as a woman entrepreneur to access the full range of the entrepreneurial services, the loans, the skilling, the business development services, and the productive infrastructure. So really, we see a lot of uniqueness in that respect. And of course, Kate has highlighted the fact that it's a women-specific project, so we need to take advantage of that.
Kate Kiza, the Executive Director and Chief Financial Officer, DFCU Bank, says the loan will be for 2 years with a maximum borrowing amount of 200 million.
As DFCU, we have more than 100,000 women-led businesses. Any of the businesses that is into expansion and all, we are happy to support them and they will take this up. So,
for this particular GROW, our target is to increase in excess of 1,000 women.
Jane Nyiramugisha, Justine Nakami, UBC News.
Now goes talk sport. The 10th day of September 2024 will go down in the books of history for Uganda as one on which its own Mandela National Stadium hosted a high-caliber Africa Cup of Nations game that did not necessarily involve the Uganda Cranes. The game is Zimbabwe hosting Cameroon, which could be on now, in a Group J game that many locals, especially those affiliated to the English club Manchester United, have turned up in big numbers to watch because of the club's goalkeeper, Andre Onana, who is representing Cameroon.
The streets of Kampala have been littered by throngs of fans that marched to Mandela National Stadium to watch a 2025 Africa Cup of Nations game between Zimbabwe and Cameroon. Most of these fans belong to Manchester United and are at the stadium to watch their star man, Andre Onana, who represents Cameroon in goal. Along the way to the stadium, the fans sang Onana's praise, with many holding placards, most of which requested for his jersey. This is a historic moment for Uganda, which is one of those countries with a certified CAF stadium that is allowed to host games of continental and world level. It's the reason Kenya paid $30,000 for Friday's Group J game against Zimbabwe, while Zimbabwe, that lacks a standard stadium, has parted with $25,000 to host a star-studded Cameroon at Uganda's Mandela National Stadium, Nambole.
Yes, that is all we had for you at this particular moment. We'll have a bigger arrangement at 10 p.m. We thank you so much for watching. My name is Micheal Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakoni and the whole team. Let's catch you at 10. Enjoy our next program. See you then.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
At 80, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has been a transformative leader, championing democracy and the rule of law, spearheading infrastructure development, ensuring education for all, and securing our nation. His visionary initiatives like Bonabagagawale, Emioga, the Youth Livelihood Program, Operation Wealth Creation, and the Parish Development Model have touched every corner of our society, driving social transformation and prosperity. Join us as we host a special guest, Honorable Balam Barugahara Atenyi, State Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, in charge of Children and Youth Affairs. He will shed light on how these initiatives are propelling Uganda forward at a fast speed. Be part of an exclusive interview as we celebrate 80 years of a revolutionary life under God's hand. Tonight, from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. only on UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Africa Masharika Fest tekwita okwetaba mu lugendo lw'okulamaga e Butiama eyaliko President wa Tanzania omulwanirizi w'eddembe era omwagalwa w'abanje Mwalimu Julius Nyerere gy'asibuka era nga gye yagalamizibwa. Okulamaga kuno kugendereddwamu okwefumiitiriza ku myaka 25 omwagalwa Nyerere gy'amaze ng'atuvudde ku maaso n'okukuba ttooki mu myaka 25 egy'olugendo lw'omukago gw'amawanga g'obuvanjuba bwa Afrika. Olunaku lw'okujjukira Mwalimu Julius Kambalage Nyerere n'omukululo gwe yaleka olukwatibwa buli mwaka ng'ennaku z'omwezi 14 Oktoba. Omwaka guno lwakutambulira ku mulamwa ogw'okukoppa ebirungi bye yakola, obumalirivu bw'okusigala ku mugendo gw'ennono bibeere ebyokulabirako erinnyaffe Africa, ekivvuunulwa nti espousing Mwalimu Julius Nyerere's enduring legacy and values, lessons for Mother Africa. N'olwekyo twegatteko nga tufumiitiriza ku lugendo lw'obulamu bwe obwali bufumbekedde obumu, emirembe n'enkulaakulana. Olulamaga luno lujja kuba lunyuvu ddala olw'ebinyumira amaaso okulaba omuli ebyafaayo nga tuyita mu kkuumiro ly'ebisolo erya Serengeti National Park, okulambula entaana ya Mwalimu Nyerere, okukyalirako ekkaddiizo lya Mwalimu erya Mwalimu Museum, Lutikko y'e Butiama ewagenda okuyimbirwa mmisa ey'olugendo lw'okumulangirira mu lubu lw'abeesiimi n'abatukuvu, n'okukubaganya ebirowoozo ku biseera by'omukago gw'amawanga g'obuvanjuba bwa Afrika eby'omu maaso. tambula awatali kutaataaganyizibwa n'ennyonyi ya Uganda Airlines Bombardier CRJ Renda oba basi kawerette eza Kira Motors oba Kayola Diesel Coaches nga zino ebyetaagisa mu ebiri ate tuwerekerwako ambulance n'ebyokwerinda ebinywevu ddala. Tuyita abantu b'amawanga gonna abandyagadde okwetaba mu kulamaga kuno, bannayuganda bannaffe, Abasomaali, bannansi ba Eritrea, Ethiopia, bannakenya, Abasudani, Abannarwanda, Abarundi n'Abakongo, bannansi ba Tanzania ne bannamwoyo gwa Afrika abalala bonna okwetaba mu kulamaga okw'ebyafaayo nga tunyweza ennono n'ebyo Afrika byekkiririzaamu. Yanguwanga ebifo tebinnaggwaawo. Bw'ayagala okutambula ng'omukungu osasula $1 za America 100 ate abaddako $8 so nga abaagala okutambulira mu baasi malidaadi baakusasula siringi za Uganda $500 gyokka nga zino ziriko entambula, ebyendya n'ebyensula. Ebisale by'entambula bisasulwa ku akawunti namba 2 zokka ng'asasula mu za Uganda osasula ku akawunti namba 0153 072 ate asasula mu $1 osasula ku akawunti namba 0153 073 ng'akawunti zino ziri mu mannya ga Butiyama Pilgrimage Safaris mu United Bank of Africa oba UBA ettabi lya Ginger Road.